We are back, ladies. Welcome to another rousing episode of Sip and Chats with me, Amanda. We are with two very, very special authors today. We're gonna have them introduce themselves and give us, synopsis of their book, and we're gonna go right in.
Hi, my name is Christina, and this is my husband Eddie. We're Christina and Eddie Sledge. We just published our memoir, The Story of Christina and I. It's a true life love story of two high school sweethearts. We're from Brooklyn, New York, and we met there. And it's a predestined love story. It goes over our ups and downs, how we met each other, how we broke up, how we got back together, our fairy tale love story that actually ends in a Disney fairy tale wedding. So it's a very inspirational memoir. It's two points of view, from my point of view as well as my husband's point of view, which makes it interesting because you get to see there's two sides of every story, right? And so in this memoir, you get to see it from both perspectives, the same timeline, what I'm thinking at any point in time during our whole life together. We've been married for 21 years. And then his point of view and perspective. So it's a really good read, and we think everyone will love it.
What were some of the difficulties that you guys had? Because, you lived this, you already lived it. So going back through some of the things, did you kind of like recant some arguments and kind of want to start them up again? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, what was the process like, getting over all of that to put it down on paper?
A lot of negotiation. It was a lot of, even though we both from Brooklyn, I'm raw and she's not. So, the raw stuff comes from me, and she's have to tone it down and say, hey, we got to leave this out, leave this in. But the parts that we did leave in was the parts that almost every marriage go through. When we got married, we only had 50 cents to our name. We was dead broke. Now we got two master's degrees and still going on, and it's amazing. But we just negotiated what's good and what's bad, what needs to be told, and all. And every marriage is like a finger, like a fingerprint. We all have fingers, but each fingerprint is different. So the things that we left in there, every marriage or a couple can understand and agree to. But the beauty of it is that, you see both sides, like she said.
And I think the other thing is, separately, we had different childhoods growing up. So as Addie mentioned, he had a really rough childhood, experiencing homelessness, fire in his house, alcoholism, very serious illnesses on his side. Whereas mine, we had a very tight-knit family. And so I had much more like happy experiences growing up. But then you'll see that dichotomy, the differences in our upbringing actually made us stronger as we got together and realized that although we were different, we definitely helped each other like a yin and yang to survive through the tough challenges in our marriage, separately and then together.
That's what it's about. It's about balance. I mean, I'm not married. I would like to be. Maybe if the Lord should say the same. I mean, but how do you guys, speak to the singles, right? Because at one point y'all were. So how do you speak to right? How do you speak to the singles, and how do you keep from the distractions? Because you guys said you broke up, and folks be messing all the ups when they. So how did y'all, or how can you, give advice to some of us who, feel like when it's break time, it's break time. That means no responsibilities. Can you guys speak to that?
Well, our break time was in high school.
Yeah, it was also in our adult years, right? So right before we got married, he was in the military. So he went to the Army, I went to college. So it was like a 4 or 5 year gap in between we actually got back together. So we did date other people.
Yeah, we did date other people.
Yeah, we dated other people. And in that time, I would say, yes, I had in the book, we talk about it, don't want to give too much away, but in the book, I had a really rough relationship that I dealt with during that time as a single woman. And then that kind of showed me what I didn't want in a relationship, right? And then at that time, I also had to work on me. I had to learn, well, what do I need to work on for myself before I'm ready for this man, this husband of mine to come into my life. So I would definitely recommend that to women. I talk about that. I go through that process in the book too. So that really is something that could speak to single people out there.
And on the men's side of it, I talk about, the relationships I had going through it. And, we think as men, you just move on with the next woman and all that, but you do, you have ups and downs in it and happiness, because I'm trying to find someone just like her after she left my life. So, to the single men out there, I know it's rough, but it's cheaper to keep her. And once you have someone that you're in love with, you gotta let the world know, like, you can't be afraid to say, hey, this is my woman and I love this woman. Either my friends love me or accept me or not, but either way, I love this woman. And men are not able to express their feelings like that to a woman or the one they love or to their friends. But once you do that, then it gets easier and you just move on, and that's your progress.
That is a good point. A lot of some men, especially in our community, they don't know how to properly express how they feel. Even if it's a good feeling, I don't know how to properly to you my appreciation or my gratitude or my attraction to you, right? Because some of us just go down the street and you holler at a female, and that's their way of expressing, hey, you're pretty. We don't yell that, but okay. I get it. Yeah. So let's talk. You said you guys only have 50 cents to your names.
Yes.
So y'all know if you came at somebody with 50 cents, they gonna drag you, talk all kinds of junk about you. So what was it that y'all said, we gonna see this through? Like, this my man, I'm gonna stick beside him. Like,
that's right. That's what, I'm gonna stick beside him. Yeah. Yeah.
It's 50 cents. Like, can we, elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I was a college student struggling, didn't have a whole lot of money, eating ramen noodles and just really roughing it, and then he was in the military, not making a whole lot of money, like maybe 22,000 a year at that time. So we knew, we really knew, based on the fact that we had such a rough time apart when we broke up, that ultimately us being together was the goal. So we didn't really care that we were going to have to struggle. We rather struggle together than struggle apart. And so we said, we're going to make this work. There were times where we had to live off of those check in advance places, cash in advance.
Yeah,
places.
I was in the army. We still on WIC. We was getting WIC. It's people look at it like and say, hey, you'll have what you have now because silver spoons. But people that know us know there's no silver spoons anywhere. And then we got married. It was literally 2 quarters in our pocket, and I called my father with one of them, and he sent us some money. And we was digging in couches for change when we was married.
Yeah. But like I said before, we really knew that we rather struggle together than struggle apart. And we knew ultimately that this was just a pit stop.
Just a pit stop.
Pit stop. And we talk about the grind, in the book, and how we, plan to get from that 50 cents in our pocket to master degrees, to homes, etc., to where we are now.
Yeah. To own our own media company.
Right. Look at that. Look at that. Y'all planned it. You saw it. You obviously caught the vision, right? And you watered it into each other, and out came this beautiful love story. And you said that you had a Disney wedding. Now, was it really Disney? Like, was it all? Yes.
Yeah. It was at Walt Disney World. We had the Cinderella Castle behind us.
Yeah.
It was for our 20th wedding anniversary, because the first wedding we eloped.
We eloped.
That's where we only have 50 cents. So that wedding was $99. But this one was a celebration of our 20 years together being married. And so we did that in Disney World.
And
And
we just went down by ourselves, and because the first marriage we had one witness, and this wedding we had one witness, the wedding planner, and we went down there and got married. Yeah.
but at the 15-year mark, we actually had a huge blowout wedding with all of our friends and family and everything. Our daughters were there. So we had both. We had 3 weddings, which a lot of people can't say. And I think that, it's just a testimony to how much we really wanted to celebrate our union and how far we came.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna have some more. Y'all gonna
Yeah.
Y'all gonna have destination ones. Y'all gonna have cruise weddings. Y'all gonna have, dress up as your favorite, Shakespearean couple weddings. That's so sweet. Us single girls, like, it's giving me a little hope. So it's out there.
Definitely.
Out there, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta give a brother a shot, though. You know what I mean?
In my life, I had my father, and he taught me the kind of woman I need to love and who to be with. So, in the book, you'll see that we was destined for each other. It was times where I know people that live next door to her. Like it was some times where we could have met, we never did. But when we finally meet, I'm running away from destiny, but my destiny is keeping me there. And then we got together, started dating, and I've been chasing her ever since. Yeah, so it's a great book. Everyone that reads it, that we know reads it, give great reviews, because it's not a how-to book, but it's our story.
It's inspirational. It really does give you hope that you could take something and take nothing and turn it into something.
Is there a part 2?
Could be. We do have some other books, though. If I could tell you about that, we had a book. This is our fiction mystery called Ricardo's Collisions. This is the cover reveal. Just came out today, August 20th. It'll be available October 12th. Very steamy romance mystery, and Ricardo is fine. So,
I see Jordan coming through. I see it. What was the inspiration for that book?
Well, I write. I have my master's degree in social science, so in history, BA in history. So I've always been a person who loved history and understand people, and I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
So I just always wanted to write it's funny, growing up, being poor, being ashamed of who I am, like smart. I was a smart kid, but I really couldn't show it in classes and all that, because you get teased for being smart. So I was always scared to write 2 pages even in school, and then when I went to college, and then now I'm writing books. So,
and then he always has been a true crime buff.
Yeah.
Watching those true crime shows like Dateline and ID Channel and stuff like that, Law and Order.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this book kind of stirred up some of that, and he was able to write our first fiction, which is really good. It's really good. It's a sexy mystery. So, and it's going to be a series.
Oh, so there it is. That's going to keep y'all busy.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy. I'm happy to hear that y'all got, other projects coming. So I like to ask my authors about, if you could turn your book into a movie, who would star in this movie? Now I want to know both movies. So you got 2 books, so both movies.
All right.
Well, I write. I just write. I do everything. She does the rest. So she'll tell you the cast members and everything.
So for us in our book, so this is our book, right? You see the sign right here. So for me, so far we are thinking maybe Zoe Salonda to play me.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for Eddie, it would be Lorenz Tate.
Lorenz. Oh yeah. And then what would be the second book?
So this is Ricardo, right? Yeah. So for Ricardo, we're thinking Laz Alonso.
Who that?
He's from he's from This Christmas.
Regina King husband.
Oh, light skin John. Light skin. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotta check this one out, guys. Especially, this couple. So I am a sucker for a good love story, and if it's a true story, even better, because it makes me feel like, you know what, I'm on the right track. I'm on the right. As far as your union, did you feel like there was a higher power, kind of, because you spoke on like destiny, kind of you there? Like, do you feel like the Lord was just like, that is you? Is that yes?
Oh yeah, definitely. In the book we talk about that because we were born in the same hospital. Yeah, 4 months apart, and then I ended up going to his school, performing a play in his middle school. We didn't know each other. Yeah. We found out years later. A fire brought him to my high school. That's how we met. I wasn't supposed to be in that high school. And we ended up meeting, and then several other times after that. But we really felt like I was really made for him, that I was like his Eve to his Adam. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And like I said, we talked about the ups and downs, the parenting, being a parent, the good and bad about being a parent, the achievements that the achievements, the depths that we incurred, it's just our lives on paper. It's just our lives on paper.
Yeah, we dealt with a lot of tragedy too. Like my brother was killed a couple years ago. That was a big impact to our whole family. So we talk about that a little bit of, mental health struggles. You'll see that as themes throughout the book, especially in our community. People don't always, feel comfortable talking about that, but we end up, we have to deal with it and learn how to cope with it. So we talk about that a lot in the book as well.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds like a good page turner. I'm so glad you guys joined us today.
Thank you.
I look forward to reading your book and watching the movie, because we're gonna speak it.
Yeah. It's gonna be a movie.
It's gonna be a movie.
Yeah. We have a screenplay and everything. We have a playlist. If you love 90s music, 80s, you can check out the playlist. Follow us on Sledge House Media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And we just had a trailer that came out for this book today. So you need to check that out.
Oh, I'm definitely
on Instagram.
Check that out. Share that one, because Ricardo.
Yes, right.
Ricardo,
yes, he's hot. Trust me.
Hey, I just write. She does the rest, so she picks out the covers and everything. I just write.
Y'all a perfect team. You're a perfect team. Too good to be true. But again, I know what's out there, because y'all are living testimony, example that I got to actually see. So I shall remain with the face.
Thank you. Black love. It's there. It exists.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. And until the next time, y'all keep sipping and keep flipping and keep chatting. Which we didn't sip anything, did we?
No. Aw, next time.
Hey, next time we do this with Ricardo, we sip.
We'll come back for Ricardo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good book for that.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of questions about that one. So.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and we're gonna see y'all next time.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.